but feminist. Now look, I'm not Catholic. I wasn't raised Catholic. But about 1 year after my letter writing campaign, I started middle school at Immaculate Heart. I stayed there through high school. I was there for 6 years. And this feminist ideology trickled down into nearly every aspect of my education. It's probably safe to say into every aspect of my life. This message to me and my classmates was clear. Our futures as young women were limitless. Ambition? Well, that was the whole point. So I don't ever remember personally feeling the negative connotation behind the word ambitious until I started dating my now husband. And apparently ambition is a terrible, terrible thing. For a woman, that is, according to some. So since I felt the negativity behind it, it's really hard to unfeel it. I can't unsee it either in the millions of girls and women who make themselves smaller, so much smaller on a regular basis. So I wanted to talk to someone who embodies the spirit of ambition, to see how she thinks about the word and the connotation, and how the other many labels that affect all women have affected her too. All right, so here we are.
Mm-hmm.
It's my first podcast.
Good. I get to be part of the first.
The first, of course.
Let's make magic.
Serena Williams needs no introduction. But if we're going to talk about ambition, I just have to give her the props that she absolutely deserves. 319 weeks ranked #1 by the Women's Tennis Association, 23 Grand Slam singles titles, 14 major doubles titles, trendsetter, trailblazer, businesswoman, mom. She's done it all. And Serena recently shared some pretty big news with the world. She's retiring from professional tennis, or, to use her words, she's evolving away from tennis so that she can continue to grow her family and focus on her other passions. She's just a remarkable woman, and she's accomplished all of this in the midst of a culture that, how should we say this? Doesn't exactly prize ambitious women, let alone ambitious Black women. So let's get into it. Hi, you want to come say hi?
Yeah.
Look, she just popped in.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I like what you've done with your hair. That's a great vibe.
Thank you. Good to see you as always. I miss you guys.
Well, come and see us.
I will.
I'll make a plan.
Have fun.
Thanks, my love. I was thinking about, even when I text you, I remember this is what I want to do. Here's the concept. Here's the idea. And just this thought of like these archetypes, but it's the kind of stuff you and I talk about so much, of these boxes and labels and, the things that we both have been called and witnessed each other being called. So I guess part of it, just to set the table, is what made you want to do this with me? Besides the fact that you're my girl.
I was going to say, because I love you. Anything you want me to do, I'm going to do.
Thank you.
I believe in you. We've been friends for so long. I'm super loyal. You know that.
Oh, I know.
And
I know. I know, never to a fault. But do you remember when we met for the first time? I was thinking about that. Do you remember?
At that game, right?
Oh my gosh, no, it was because it was the same year as the Super Bowl, when the Super Bowl was in New York. I had never been before. And then I show up and I see you walking towards someone. And I remember going, oh my gosh, who's Serena Williams going to talk to? And I looked behind me, and when I turned around, you were there in front of me. You're like, hi. And we became such fast friends.
We have a lot in common.
I know. So much. I mean, the things that people think and the things that people don't. But in our friendship, when you have to see things that are mischaracterizing of me, but you experience behind closed doors the pain that I'm going through, and vice versa, right? But I think what's so interesting is, even though that's on a world stage, I don't know if that feels much different for any woman. If you're in a small town and you see someone saying something about your best friend that is just completely untrue, how that feels. You know, when I was talking about all the different archetypes that women are affected by, and just in terms of if a man is ambitious, for example, that is so celebrated. But you look at a woman like yourself, who I think is incredibly ambitious, and that's a testament to who you are as a person, but that's also why you've become so successful. When you hear the word ambition, do you think of it in a negative or a positive way?
I was talking to, I don't know if it was my mom or my sister, but I said, I have to check myself because I've been so blinded by society. You know, if a man is ambitious, am I bringing down society by saying a woman is something different than ambitious? Or what do I think of women that are ambitious? Often women are definitely put in these different boxes when we are ambitious or when we do have goals or when we reach our goals. It's a negative connotation on how we reach the goals.
But even for little girls in a schoolroom, right? If a little girl is ambitious or raises her hand more, what is she called? Bossy.
Well, I was reading an article about how girls tend to raise their hand less and less as time goes on because their confidence starts to fade because of the things that they're called. So it's quite interesting. By the time they're in high school and for sure in college, they're not raising their hands as much. So hopefully we can teach our girls to continue to raise their hand and to be fearless.
Well, and you were fearless as a little girl and so confident. I was watching a clip, I think we have it when you were 11, and they said, if you were a tennis player, who would you want to be like? Do you remember this? Do you remember what you said?
If you were a tennis player, who would you want to be like?
Well, I like other people to be like me.
That's a good answer.
I do. I said I wanted people to be like me. Honestly, I couldn't have written that better. I don't know why I said that because, quite frankly, I kind of sucked at the time, but maybe I knew something. I don't know.
But it was something that's in you. And it's funny if I think of it because I was 11 at the same time and we're the same age and we grew up both in LA. Although this morning I was saying to Harry, I said, do you remember one of those?
I'm the one, for the record,
I was about to say, when they said Harry's girl is straight out of Compton. I was like, are they talking about Serena? I'm not from, I'm like,
that's my
exactly.
guy,
You love a redhead. I'm like, I'm not from Compton. I've never lived in Compton. My mom doesn't live in Compton. But by the way, what's wrong with Compton? My girl Serena's from there.
I know, like, wait a minute. And I'm so proud to be from Compton, I have to say. Also, like, Dr. Dre is from Compton. And, what's his name? The actor, Kevin no, oh my goodness, I'm blanking.
I don't think Kevin Costner's from Compton.
Kevin Costner is from Compton.
No,
he is.
He's not.
Yes, he is. Google it.
Oh my gosh, that's wild.
But he even talks about it. Isn't it fascinating? I'm like,
that's amazing.
So it's pretty cool. So, you unfortunately can't,
I can't claim Compton. But I love that. Look at that. Both of us at 11 years old, growing up in LA, that was the time that I found a commercial to be sexist. And I wrote the letters and that commercial got changed. That's the same time you at 11 years old, when someone says, if you were a tennis player, who would you want to be like? And you say, I'd want other people to be like me. So there was something. We obviously didn't know each other then, but what was it about our 11-year-old selves? Because when you're young, you get to an age, I find, you're so innocent, but you're also so fearless, right? Mm-hmm. And that somehow